Everyone, it's Colleen Suchecki. Welcome back to the Shine with Speaking Telesummit. I'm so excited to have you here. As you know, I am your host. I've been your host all week, and I am a speaker and transformational business coach and founder of BelieveGrowShine.com, and I help coaches and healers find their voice, align with their purpose, and share their stories and gifts in a bigger way so they can grow their business using speaking. And I am so excited to have Michelle Whiteheart with me here today. She is going to be speaking about 3 soulful strategies to be magnetic on video and attract your soulmate clients. So, without further ado, I'm so excited to introduce Michelle Whiteheart, who is a video visibility mentor. Try to say that 3 times, okay? She teaches women entrepreneurs how to make authentic, out-of-the-box, magnetic marketing videos. She combines her film editing and documentary filmmaking background with somatic movement coaching to guide women through their visibility, perfectionism, and technophobia issues. I know no one has any of those issues, right? When she first started her business, she knew how to make videos, but she didn't know how to be on video. So she developed a transformational video coaching system to help women get out of their heads and into their bodies so they can deliver their message authentically from their heart. Michelle is a talented coach who is able to tease out the true essence of her clients so they can create embodied, feminine, empowered, and playful videos that stand out and magnetize their soulmate clients. Michelle, welcome to the call. How are you?
I'm great, Colleen. Thank you. It's so great to be here.
Oh, my gosh, so great to have you. This is such a hot topic, video.
Yeah. Did it? Yeah. Yep, it's unavoidable now.
It is. Can you share a little bit about that, and then we'll get into a little bit of your story? Like, why is it such a hot topic? Why do we need to pay attention?
Well, the interesting thing about video is that it never was, such a hot topic. It used to be out of everyone's reach. To make films originally, video, and then even video in the early days was like a big deal. And now anyone and everyone can make videos, including children, for gosh sakes. But entrepreneurs are really almost not forced to do video, but it's just so accessible that everyone not everyone actually, not even that many are using it that could be using it, but it's just it's such an amazing tool to get your message out for free. You don't hire an advertising campaign anymore. You can be spread all over the world sharing your services and attracting your ideal clients all over the world now through the internet and YouTube. It's just so accessible now, and it's 90% of all online marketing is being done through video, they're saying, in 2014, which is now upon us. So it's unbelievable how, it's just integral now.
Yeah, and what I love, too, and I know that this is why I asked you to be on here, is because you can connect so much more with video than you can with just, sharing content on a page or in a Facebook post. Yeah. Like, if there's a video there, it's such an opportunity to connect with people.
Exactly. It's if you're not going to meet someone in person, the next best way to let someone get to know you is on video, because it's multidimensional. It's not just words on a page. It's like we get to feel your energy on video. And that's how you make your choices to work with people, is you get a feeling for them. And video is the quickest way to get that feeling now.
I love it. Can you share a little bit more about your background and your story and how you got involved, how you got started with all of this?
Yes, well, I come from being a very shy introvert and really not someone who felt very comfortable speaking in front of more than a few people. And I ended up in the filmmaking world because I was very drawn to feminism and filmmaking at the same time, realizing that film was like this amazing way to spread messages. The most, widespread possible was through that medium. And this is back in the day we're talking. This is a while ago. And so I didn't feel that great about being a woman. I just grew up thinking that men were better somehow, and I didn't like that feeling. And I just thought if I saw more movies or documentaries or things about strong women, I thought that would help me. And so I was like, that's what I want to do. I want to be part of that. And so I got interested in this, and I went into the film industry and ended up in the editing department. That was where I started, but ended up working on B movies in Hollywood to learn about editing and filmmaking, and was not thrilled about how I ended up on B movies, but just thought, okay, it's just temporary. I'm just doing this because I can learn about how to do all this stuff. And then realized, like, wow, it's a big deal to make films and survive as a filmmaker. I don't know if I really have the skill and the talent to do that. And I kept thinking, well, I'll just see how it goes, and I'll be a therapist if it doesn't work out in film. Like, I sort of had that in my back pocket because I was really interested in self-growth, and I thought, I'll just try this film thing. It was overwhelming, though, to me, and I just kept being, an assistant editor and an editor and sort of like coasting along until one day I discovered a high priestess who was the first known writer of all literature, a Mesopotamian high priestess. I was reading about her, and all of a sudden I was like, oh my God, I've got to make a documentary about this woman. And I finally started to make a film that I felt really good about. And by then video was more accessible, and I did everything myself. I didn't think of asking for help, and that just seemed like too much. And it was just like, oh, I got to do it all by myself. And then it was like, okay, I did it, and I got to show it at UCLA each year in a women's studies class, and I felt like, okay, I'm doing my purpose here, which was to spread empowering images of women. Nobody knew about this high priestess. I mean, I was shocked. I had never heard of her, but she's the first named author of all literature. And I now consider her as the first marketer, actually. But then I was kind of like, I think this is as far as I can get in the film world, I mean, I couldn't distribute this film. YouTube wasn't around yet. And I was like, well, I think I did what I could do. And then I discovered, this whole movement, life coaching paradigm of work. And I was like, oh, let me go do that. And then I was like studying with a teacher. I finally found someone that I could invest in and be, study with. And I loved that, but that also wasn't turning into a real so-called job, or a real career, because I kept thinking, God, I just don't know if I could be an entrepreneur. I want to be, but I just don't think I can be. And until, I was sort of starting to watch people online and started to notice there were some videos out there. The first video that I was most intrigued by was by Christina Marassi. I started sort of following her from a distance and sort of like, how is she able to just be on video and have fun and be an expert? Like, that just so intrigued me. I'm like, how does somebody do that? And I was kind of jealous, and I kind of watched her grow over a few years. I was like, how does she get to do that? Like, because I grew up thinking, to want to be seen was actually childish, because my father had humiliated my sister, who's the middle child, who was always kind of getting passed over, and she would ask for attention, and, she'd get humiliated for it. And he would say, and me? He'd have this voice that he'd put on and kind of laugh at her, and he called her and me, which is terrible. And I just was like, oh, I'm not going to, I'm not going to ask for attention. That's, you shouldn't ask for attention. There's something wrong with that. So I had this conflict inside, like, how do you, be an expert and be on video but not be, like, asking for attention? And it was a big conflict, but I kept watching her videos, and I was just, like, kept being magnetized to her, that I was getting to know her and like her and trust her. I was getting over my jealousy. And then eventually I was like, I just got to work with her. And so then she was the one who said, got to put your video skills with your movement skills and help women get embodied and comfortable on video. And I was like, oh, okay, really? I'm going back to video? Gosh, okay. I thought that door was closed. And I avoided it for a while. I was like, no, I'm supposed to be a health coach. And so I kind of like, oh, no, I can't do it. But then either way, I had to show up on video. So then I realized, wow, I'm really terrified to be on video. And I know how to make them, but I just don't want to be on them. I'm like, what will people think of me? Like, am I trying to get attention? Am I, being needy? And all these conflicts and being perfect and, fraud factor. Like, what do I have to say? Why would anyone listen to me? And all that stuff was just, really paralyzing me. And I wasn't moving forward. And I finally realized, oh, I need help. Like, all these other people can seem to do it, but I can't. And it just didn't make sense to me. Like, I knew how to make them, but why can't I make them? Why are other people who've never made selves just showing up on video? And I'm like, it was just baffling to me. And finally I just realized, okay, well, I'm not moving, so maybe I better get help. So I got help, and that really took the edge off. And I finally started realizing, okay, now that I've burst that hump, I started to realize I could access all of my movement skills and all of the work that I'd been doing in the coaching and embodiment movement paradigm of healing and working through your blocks and your challenges and all of that stuff. And I started to realize, wow, I now can help women do this. And I created a program that combined how to teach women how to make videos as well as how to be on video and work through all that stuff. And then I realized, oh my gosh, now I'm helping women spread empowering images of themselves so that their message can come out and be fully as impactful as possible because they're embodied in themselves and feeling their own strength and their power and their passion of their message. And I realized this is what I was meant to do. It wasn't happening, 20 plus years ago. YouTube wasn't around for me to do it. So it's just so thrilling to come full circle and finally be doing this with women.
I love that story. I don't think I ever heard that full story. And it's such an empowering story. So thank you so much for sharing that. I'm sure that can definitely resonate with some people that are listening right now, that maybe they've been stopped by making videos because they think they have to be perfect or all the things that you were sharing. So can you talk a little bit about, because you like to talk about being magnetic on video. So can you talk a little bit more about what that means?
Yes. Well, what I have sort of come to realize that's magnetic, I mean, there's a lot of different components about being magnetic, but the value of, it really for me, it comes down to being authentic, really being present and authentic and also vulnerable. Like, those are some main keys of being magnetic, sort of in a general way. And I'll break down, I've got three sort of tips to strategies to be magnetic. But for me, when you're really authentic and present in your body and speaking about what's true in the moment, whether it is about business or not, then you're letting your energy move through your whole body, and that's when people can actually feel you and get you. And that's how they can start to know, like, and trust you. And they'll be magnetized to you if it's a fit. So it's not like being magnetic means you're going to attract every single person out there, but it means you are going to attract the people you're meant to work with.
I love that. And I love what you're saying. It's about being authentic.
Yeah.
I love that. Okay, so let's get started with some tips. So how can we start doing that? Like, even if someone's just getting started.
Right. So someone who's just getting started, the first thing that often comes up is like, oh my God, this piece of technology is so impersonal, technological, modern, plastic, as, this thing that just makes you feel like a piece of shit. That's what I hear a lot of women say. They're like, I hate the camera. It just brings up so much stuff. And this is from women who are just starting, as well as women who have spoken on stages and who have made videos. But there's this thing about the camera that it brings up all of your, I guess, areas where you might not be fully accepting yourself. Anywhere where you still have some judgments about yourself, the camera's going to amplify that. So it's really particularly hard for women who think that they've bust through all that, and then here comes the camera, and although they can speak in front of large audiences, all of a sudden their stuff is coming up big time around the camera. It's like, well, why? Why don't I feel good about myself all of a sudden because of a camera? And then it's like the camera's fault. And the truth is that the camera is actually this amazing transformational tool. And to start looking at it that way is really helpful, because for women who've never done videos, my tip is to start using the camera like a video diary, like a friend, a confidant. And to start walking around, you don't even have to look in the camera. You don't have to use these videos, but it's like bridging you being on video and seeing yourself and sharing it with others and not being on video. It's like this in-between space where you're starting to cultivate, like, this is a device that is going to help me in so many ways, not only personally, but with my business, getting me out there. So it's like a nice easing in to just start using it as a diary and sharing and talking into it, and sharing where you're at in the moment, sharing all your challenges, because that's going to bridge you into being authentic as well on video. It's not like you're sharing your process all the time on video, but you're learning how to be real and be vulnerable. So this is like this amazing tip and strategy that I find super helpful. And I have a story of a woman who was like, had made a few videos, I definitely was challenged by it, and had a lot to share, but the minute she started to make videos for this 30-day video challenge that I'm holding right now, she would go blank, and it was super stressful, and she was like, what's wrong with me? I can't. All of a sudden I go blank, and I said, okay, just drop trying to show these videos. Just start using it as a video journal diary. And the irony of it was that she ended up posting her first one that she did because, the video challenge happens to be a very safe container. So it wasn't like she was posting it out to the world, but she realized, oh, my God, I just was so authentic. I want to share that with everyone. And that totally eased her into realizing also what her true message was. And that's what's so amazing about video, is that once you start seeing it as this magical container for magic to happen, that you might not necessarily know what's going to happen, you're actually developing what's really important for you to talk about. And that ends up being often what your purpose is about and what your business is really about. So it's an incredible tool to develop your material, what you're here to deliver.
So it was like once you helped her see that she could just take the pressure off of herself from trying to be a certain way or say a certain thing, and just use it as a diary, like this magical thing happened for her.
Yes. Yeah.
Oh,
it was.
I love it.
It was. Yeah. It was incredibly amazing, the turnaround that she had with it, and then she had to take a break again because any kind of issues around visibility, that doesn't mean they're gone immediately. They come up in layers. So it's not like she was just then launched forward, but she made such an amazing, she realized, okay, now I see the light at the end of the tunnel. Now I just need to take breaks, go back to the video diary, and then when I'm ready to come back out again, then I can share. So it's a resourcing tool. And so for women who are already using video, they can use this same sort of strategy slightly differently, in the sense of creating the mindset that each video is an alchemical container for transformation for yourself and for your audience. because when you are using it as a container with a real intention to deliver your message and reach the people who are waiting and needing what you have to offer, that really changes how you deliver your message and helps people receive your message so much more like a transmission for them.
That's awesome. I love that. Each video is an alchemical transformational. It's just makes it, it's such a great reframe than just looking at it as a piece of technology.
Exactly. And you know, a container has a masculine energy to it, you know, like a piece of technology has a masculine energy. However, the feminine fills the container and can't really, you know, your message doesn't go anywhere without a container. And video is one form of container. And I see it as an alchemical container for transformation. Whether whether you're really clear and have a real specific message or you're letting it unfold in the moment. You know, there's multiple ways to use that container.
I love it. I love it. What would be the next awesome strategy that you have to share around being magnetic on video?
Okay, so my next step, my next piece has to do with when you feel like you have to be all professional and perfect on video. That's like the next biggest hang-up, is like, oh God, I have to like put on a persona. You know, now that this is for my business, I have to be all professional and only deliver, you know, valuable content. Like I always hear people say, you have to deliver massive value, you know, and it's true.
Yeah.
I mean, yes, we want to share our expertise and, you know, people benefit by these videos that we're sharing tips about and we're educating them about us in the process. However, it can feel super constricting when you feel like that's all you can do on video. It's just share massive value and it's all about your content and being, you know, really useful. And the thing about it is that when you just share one kind of video with your audience, that becomes less effective. And people actually, they've done studies where, you know, casual videos thrown into professional-looking videos, you know, personal stuff mixed in with professional, like, content stuff. It's important to share other aspects of yourself. And showing you having fun is my biggest thing to raise your frequency and be magnetic on video. Like when you're having fun, people feel that. And I know you have a great story about it, Colleen, that I want you to share.
Yeah, so I definitely I definitely have fallen into the trap of feeling, you know, I have to put on a persona and I have to share, be professional, I have to be a certain way. And one day I felt super inspired to share one of the techniques that I use for myself on how to get out of overwhelm. So it was like earlier that morning I had felt very overwhelmed and I put on this dance party. So I cranked up the music, I grabbed a vacuum attachment as my microphone, and I just started like singing and dancing as if I were actually like performing on stage. And I totally got out of my overwhelm. And after I did that, I was like, oh my gosh, I need to make a video about this. And so, mind you, I am not a singer. Like, I am not a singer in any way, shape, or form. So I go on video, I say, okay, here's my tip to get out of overwhelm, and I start singing Katy Perry's Firework. Oh. And it was like, it was definitely pushing the boundaries out of my comfort zone. So obviously, like, I made the video, I shared it, and that has been one of my most watched videos.
Exactly. It was such a great video. I loved seeing that side of you. I, like, fell in love with you even more. I was like, I love Colleen. She's amazing. Like, she's an amazing transformational speaking coach, but she's also got this so human side that she would share this. I mean, to sing on video when you don't even sing, that is so, and to have to sing in a vacuum. Right. I'm like, this is like the best story. I just love that, and that's exactly true. It's just sharing you having fun or being goofy or sharing a hobby, like you ease into it. Everyone has their own way of sharing their other non-businessy side. You know, there's infinite ways of doing it. There's no right or wrong way. You don't have to be funny overtly, you know. A lot of people think they have to be funny on video. It's like, no, if you're pushing it, it's not going to come through magnetically. And just being you is what we're constantly learning how to do in general, and doing it on video just makes you that much more magnetic.
Yeah, so you're saying, like, it wouldn't make sense for someone to, you know, say, oh, I'm going to go make a video of me singing something, like if that's not something that they authentically do or want to share. It's not about doing what someone else has done. It's just about really being true to yourself and sharing of you.
Exactly, and you know, that's sometimes not immediately apparent. Like, sometimes we just don't even know how to be ourselves. You know, all of a sudden to be told, oh, just be yourself, it's kind of like, huh, what do you mean? What does that mean? And so giving yourself space to just find, well, what do I like doing? You know, what do I like doing? And like, for example, in the video challenge, a lot of people were singing and dancing in their videos, and it's been so lovely that people feel this safe space to share all this other stuff about themselves. And I was really getting drawn to Agatha, who does these raps in her videos. And for some reason, I just would never have imagined that I could write a rap song, but I was just so inspired by her. I was like, God, you know what? I'm going to try it. I'm just going to try it. Like, I'd never given myself permission to do something like that. And I was like, you know what? Everyone else is doing it. Why can't I? I'm running this show. I get to do it too. And I just let myself play with it. And I wrote a rap song. And then I performed it. I have never done anything like that in my entire life. And people love it. People absolutely loved it. I got to share my philosophy of video in the rap song. So it was just multi-dimensionally satisfying for me, you know? It was creative. It was
amazing. It was an amazing video, and I definitely go check that video out. So either friend Michelle on Facebook or go to her YouTube channel and check that video out, because it was amazing. It was just a lot of fun. So it's a great way to get to know Michelle even more.
Right. Thank you. Yeah.
Yeah. So you're like, that's just kind of what you're talking about, though, just being, you know, like authentically wanting to share more of yourself so that your listeners or watchers or followers, whatever you want to call them, start to get to know, like, and trust you even more outside of just you sharing your content.
Exactly. And showing you in your day-to-day life or on a hike or, you know, doing anything that you love. And so there's this philosophy where you always somehow tie your hobby into, or whatever you're doing, back into your work. Like, that's one strategy. And that makes some people feel a lot more comfortable. Like, well, this relates to my business. You know, riding a bicycle relates to my business because, you know, blah, blah, blah. You know, you can tie it in like you're, I don't know, getting exercise and going somewhere. And I don't know, whatever it is, having fun is part of your business, or you can make a direct connection, or you can just share, hey, I just want to share a slice of my life with you all so you get to know me. Like, it's however you feel comfortable sharing your personal side in your videos. And everyone has their own way of doing it. And you discover it by doing it. There's no formula.
I love it.
Make sure it means something to you, and it's something that feels good that, you know, you want to share. You know, that's all.
Yeah, because if it's going to mean something to you and connect with you, then it's definitely going to mean something and connect with your soulmate clients.
Exactly. And you know what actually people love? People love to want to get to know you, different things about you. They love to see behind the scenes, you behind the scenes, you know, you getting ready to go out. It's like, oh, we're getting invited into this, you know, a little more intimate aspect of this coach or person, you know, like, oh boy, This is a privilege, actually. You're giving a privilege to your viewers to get to know something behind the professional side of you. And we're just, the paradigm of being is more holistic in business now. And this is how being magnetic is about being holistic and sharing all of you. So if you're only showing your business side, it's not as effective. It just isn't. Because we get the sense that you're holding something back. You're kind of hiding possibly behind your professional veneer.
And that reminds me of actually when we met, which was when I was out on a business retreat in LA, and as part of the retreat, we were going to do a dance mob.
Yes.
And so, if I would have gone out to LA and done this whole dance mob and then we had a photo shoot, thanks to Michelle, in what she was sharing at that retreat as well, is I was letting people behind the scenes. So after I did the dance mob, after I was doing the photo shoot, giving behind the scenes, people loved it. And it was like walking my walk, because I was all about like pushing out of your comfort zone and all of these things. And it just helped to, I wasn't just talking about it, I was actually living it.
Nice. Exactly. Oh, that's so great. It's so integrating, actually. That's a great point. There's something about these non-businessy videos that brings in this whole integration element of how you actually walk your talk in your life. Because just sharing it to do it in your business, that doesn't fly anymore. We don't operate where we're separate, It's just, but I mean, some people do, and that's fine. I can't say that I'm like, that's wrong. It's just we're moving into this way more holistic, integrative paradigm where, you walk your talk in all of your life, not just in your business.
Exactly. So, so do you have another strategy that you wanted to share around being more magnetic?
Yes, actually, this is like really, really sort of a foundation. And this is all about how, when you're starting out, it's really, and even down the road, it's hard to get really comfortable on video. And we tend to be a little stiff, shows up in the shoulders. There's this feeling that, we're trying to make something happen on video, and we're actually holding our energy back, even though we don't want to be holding it back. It's just this, it's kind of, it is challenging to be on video and to be natural. And so my tip is to, and also some people are told, hey, you gotta really be energetic so that you hold people's attention. You gotta talk really fast so it sounds really exciting, and that's actually important for people who are shy and kind of like are kind of speaking like this, like, hi, I'm Michelle Hart. Like, that's not going to work. But screaming also and, hi, I'm Michelle Hart, isn't going to work either. That's going to push people away. It's a great exercise to practice being able to project like that. It's an amazing exercise, but it's not what you want to do on video. You want to be somewhere in the middle. And so I have a technique, and I'd love for everyone to just try this right now, is if you're standing, stand, or if you're sitting, sit, and just drop your weight into the chair or into the floor, and just get a sense of your bones sort of stacking up. And just notice if you're breathing, if it encourages you to take a deeper breath, just notice your breath as it is, not trying to breathe deeper. Just let your tailbone drop and get a sense that you're relaxing. So if you're grabbing around your tailbone, just notice that. See if you can just let that melt away. And then notice if your shoulders are hunching. And let those shoulders have a chance to just decompress. And now you're in your body. So what's really important on video is to be in your body and be sharing your voice to the camera. So there's this dynamic of being inside and sharing your energy out. And what happens is when you're in your body, the way I'm describing right now, and your tailbone is dropping and your top of your spine is slightly lifting and your shoulders are naturally dropping, you're creating more space in your body. And when there's space in your body, your energy can move through your whole body. And I hope you guys can get a sense of this, but I feel amazing when I do this. I feel like I rock. I am fully inside of me, and I'm just so excited to share with you all what I have to say. But I'm not trying to share just to you and leave me, and I'm not just in me and leaving out you. It's like this tension of being inside and reaching out to you. The way that the spine is dropping and lifting naturally, there's this natural expansion when you put your attention on your body like that and on being present with yourself and your audience. You're creating this dynamic tension, and this makes you magnetic. And I have a whole body of work with the movement work that I do that builds additional skills to access being magnetic in this way and opening up new pathways in your body so that more of your energy can come through. And it's just a process where we start sharing more and more of ourselves naturally from the inside. Like, yes, we can share our hobbies, and that's sharing us, with our audience. But now we're sharing our energy coming from our internal source of energy rather than trying to create and make energy. It's like accessing your own energy supply by being aware of your body and learning to access more of yourself through different kinds of movements and things like that. I share more of that actually in my free gift. So there's, a whole, and it's not about trying to learn all this stuff and be technical or anything like that. It's just new ways of getting to know your own energy system in your body that will totally help you share more of yourself very naturally and very effortlessly. Does that make sense, Colleen?
Yeah. No.
Okay, good.
Oh, my gosh. I love that because, it just helps connect the fact, like, when you're in your head, you are not sharing. You're not sharing in the way that you're describing right now.
Exactly. And, this is the beauty, is that when you drop into your body like this, you don't have to know what you're going to say. It's fine to know what you're going to say. You're going to say it way more in a bodily connected way. You're not going to be coming from, okay, I've got to say this, this, and this. It's more like you are living what you're saying, and that's very different. And I've learned to channel in the moment just because I've done this sort of a practice.
Wow.
And having, it's like either way is fine. You can know what you're going to say, but then when you say it, have it come from, your cells, from your energy, not from your head. And that will make you magnetic.
And, I've had the experience, and I'm sure you have too, that sometimes when you think you want to know what you think you know what you want to say, but then if you just get out of your way, there's actually something else that wants to come out.
Exactly. That is so true. And that's what's so exciting, is that then you don't have to feel like you're ever going to run out of things to say, because if you actually, so my bottom line tip is really just to relax. And I don't mean relax and lie down. I just mean hold yourself up while you're standing and relax. Like, that's just a quick way to remember it. And if you do that and actually feel where you are, like, feel if you're tired, it's okay. You can still make a video when you're tired. You can make a video when you're angry, when you're sad. Doesn't matter. As long as you feel it, you're actually creating space inside your body. And then there's like something in the moment that will come through that's needed to be said.
I love it. I love it. Was there that's such an amazing tip, because I can't tell you how many times I've, it's like you have to remind yourself, get out of your head, go into your body. So was there anything else that you really wanted to share before before you talked about the gifts that you're going to offer everyone?
I think that really covers it for me. I feel like I could say a ton more, but I think that feels like really that's enough. We don't want to overload. It's like, digest this,
Yeah.
So thank you. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. So I think that if we just open up the space for some questions, and actually before we do that, because my computer is going a little cuckoo at the moment, so if you want to share your free gift right now with everyone,
sure. Yes.
While I try to figure this out.
Great, yes. Well, I have a free gift at Michelle, with 2 L's and an E, Whiteheart, HART.com. And it's a three-part video series that has different, I go into greater depth into what we just did, and to really get more of that bodily feeling of confidence, like really accessing your confidence from your body, and how to relax and stay alert and really focus and direct your energy so that your message comes out with like the potency that it really needs to reach people. People need to feel your energy. So I've got 3 videos on describing how to access more of your energy and stimulate new ways to access yourself so that you're actually expanding and creating more neural pathways to access more downloads. And I will have a 4th video that will be sent out afterward that will be wrapping more and integrating more of how this can be channeled into your video making. So I'm really excited to share it with you all. I think it's super effective in taking what I've talked about today and going deeper and having a practice that you can use to expand your connection to your body so that you can be more magnetic on video.
That's amazing. And so just know that if you did not get so this link for Michelle's amazing gift is going to be going out in the email later today. So just know that, no worries if you happen to, if you didn't get it written down or anything like that, that's going to go out later today. So that's amazing. So I definitely want to check that out. And what I love about what Michelle does is just, like, she makes it feel so much less overwhelming. Like, even if you're just getting started or if you want to take your videos to the next level, it's like you can, wherever you are, you can really take what she shares and go to the next level with your videos. I know I have from being a part of her 30-day video challenge.
Oh, wow. Thank you so much. I really enjoyed this. I think the key takeaway for me was when she said, use the camera as a video diary and get comfortable with it. That was so powerful. I loved it.
Yay. That's great, Rashida.
Thank you.
Yay. You're welcome. Well, thank you. I'm gonna meet you back up there. Wonderful. Congratulations. Michelle, thank you so much again, and everyone have a great day.